Yo, yo, testing, testing. What is good? Good evening from Tokyo, and we are live. It is Monday, the 2nd November. It's the 2nd, is it? Yeah, it's the 2nd. God damn. Had a crazy weekend. What up, Miga? What is good? Thanks for joining. Yeah, had a crazy weekend here in Tokyo. Yeah, I think crazy party you lot had in Japan. Yeah, that was a crazy night. You know, um, I don't do it a lot of a nightlife. I'm not always out, but you know, when I do go out in Tokyo, it's always good. Especially on Halloween, it's good. Halloween is the best night to go out in Tokyo, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. And that was a night where you know I know a lot of things, but it's good to relearn some of the things that about game, especially about night game. You know, that was so. Yeah, I just want to talk about night game today, but and just a few stories from the Halloween party. But that was certainly a good time. I mean, if you want to see scantily clad women out in their thousands, Halloween is a good time for that. Women just love Halloween because it gives them an excuse to dress really slutty. Um, that's pretty much it, and I've no complaints about that. Not one complaint. Did you watch the live stream, Miguel? Did you see John's party? Because yeah, he had a MLD had a house party, and there were a ton of hot chicks there. I invited a bunch of chicks there, and yeah, I didn't even know who was there and who wasn't. There were some chicks that I had already banged, and there were some chicks that I hadn't, but it was a time. I was like, I kind of half-assed a vampire. Not really. I had like some. I was working all that day, and I had bought some vampire like trinkets and blood and shit. But it was kind of. I didn't really go. I didn't go as hard as MLD in a full Iron Man costume. That was yeah, it was a good time. But let me just share this link and see if we can get some more degenerates in here. Um, yes. So, but MLD really pulled off a good house party. Um, what's up, Harry? Yeah. So I don't know. Like Halloween it was the police tried to shut it down, but no, there was everything was popping. Uh, there's a main right in downtown Tokyo, a place called Shibuya, and it has probably the biggest Halloween party in the world. The police tried to stop people coming, but it was over. It went ahead as usual. Thousands of sluts, people having a good time. I didn't actually go to the outdoor street party because I was at MLD's party. And then we went to a club after. The club was eye opening. The club was a good time, but let me just check it. um, but this was last night. Good times. Cock slapper, nice. That's a nice name. I like it. I'm Irish. I'm Irish, 100%. But yeah, that was a very good night indeed. Um, so basically, MLD had arranged this house party, and we just invited a bunch of chicks and a bunch of friends, and yeah, tons of people showed up, and it got really wild. Um, you Brits, right? Well, I'm Irish. Bit of a difference. Bit of a difference. Not quite British, but close enough. But yeah, so we invited a bunch of chicks, and a lot of them showed up because it's and so they came through, and it got pretty wild. There was tons of drink, tons of hot chicks. Yeah, it got really, really ratchet actually. There was chicks twerking and stuff. Um, yeah, it was. I got some. I'll show you here some video. Let me see if I find it. But there were some super hotties there. What's up, Daniel? Yeah, that's Dustin. That party told me. Yeah, I mean, that party was legit. Uh, People were getting real wild there. I was on a rampage. I was on a real, you know. There was some real hotties there. Let me see this. Look at there was. I don't know who this is, but whole Central. It was a. I don't. Do you know her name? I don't know her. How do you know her? I didn't eat that ass. I had other ass though. But yeah, that was just a bit of a a clip from that night. It got pretty pretty ratchet. But I think everyone had a good time, and that was before we went to the club. When we got to the club, holy, that's when things really went down. And yo, Cock Slapper, I did not eat her ass. Um, can you show us your technique? Yeah, you can join my private. Get on my website and book a consultation. I'll show you some. I might get banned off YouTube if I show you my ass eating technique. You know, that's for exclusive. That's exclusive content. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you might want to work on your tongue technique. I don't know. You want to try and figure that out. But yeah, so we had a good time at the house party, and I was just going from chick to chick. I was on the whiskey that night, so you know. I was whiskey drunk, so I just didn't give a shit. I wasn't, I was just going from girl to girl, just trying to have a good time, and the house was a good pregame, but it's been a while since I went proper, out and gone real hard at night game, but it kind of made me relearn how, you know, how much beta guys lose out on night game. Because if you as soon as you respect these girls too much, they will treat you like shit. They'll just dismiss you. Like, clubs are not for beta guys or nice guys. It's a harsh environment to if you're going out to pick up chicks, you want to be like, you know, I'm not saying you want to be super like, you know, you want to be aggressive in a good way. You want to be aggressive in a kind of a fun, cheeky way, not like bitch, you know, like not like slapping bitches across the face. R.I.P. Sean Connery. Sean Connery died. Sean Connery, man, he was a legend. That man knew when to put a woman in her place, and he was not shy about it. Never apologized about it. Just such a legend. They don't make them like Sean Connery anymore. You know, he wouldn't. They'd shut someone like that down these days. There wouldn't be a guy like that in Hollywood now. There wouldn't be a guy making movies like that. They're all pussies now. They're all pussies. I might actually I might watch a clip. I gotta get on the screen sharing, but for now, I might just show you the clip. I saw a good clip of Sean Connery today, and you know, he just didn't. You just never apologize to the never apologize to the mob. Always double down. When someone asks you to apologize, double down on what you did, even if you're wrong.
The worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a.
Let me see. Let's watch this. Like but this guy, you know.
You did an interview in which you said, not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist. It's better to do it with an open hand. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No, not at all.
You think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good.
You don't think it's bad?
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. They don't want to have the last word, and you give them the last word, but they're not happy with the last word. They want to say it again, and get into a really provocative situation. Then I think it's absolutely right.
What would?
Yeah, of course, you know, violence is not the answer, but you know, sometimes you gotta give a dose of equality. Equality, when equality is necessary, you gotta dish out the equality, like just in, you know, when the time is necessary, you know. But don't go looking for trouble. That's my motto. I'm not one to start trouble, but when trouble comes your way, sometimes you have to deal with it. You know, especially the thing about Japan is that's what I love about Japan. It's one of the greatest things. It's you will never get a girl ever looking for trouble with you. Japanese women are very based. They understand that men are, you know, not to be trifled with. I mean, I don't go looking for fights with guys that are 6'6" and jacked. Why not? Because I'll get. There's a reason there's weight classes in fighting. There's a reason there's heavyweight, lightweight, middleweight. There's different weight classes. You don't go picking fights with a heavyweight when you're a lightweight or a middleweight. So, you know, that's just the way it is, you know. So, you know, you just shouldn't pick fights with people that can mess you up, you know. That's just common sense. But, you know, in Japan, you know, people don't generally go picking fights, and especially not with people that are bigger than them. Yeah. So, but you don't have to really deal with you're not gonna have to deal with you'd have to go looking for a fight really here, but you know, Western women would I've seen Western women step to guys, like it's like god damn, like it's a Japanese women would never step to a guy and like look for but American women, they'll step to a guy thinking, they've watched too many superhero movies and they think, they might have done a kickboxing class 5 years ago and they think they're ready to fucking, I don't know, they can kick ass or whatever, kick ass women. That's dangerous. There should be no, women shouldn't be encouraged to they definitely shouldn't be encouraged to pick fights with dudes, but even for a woman, definitely retreat is obviously the best kind of self-defense. But yeah, bit of a tangent there, a bit of a Sean Connery, I don't know, I just like the way he's unapologetic and he didn't back down. There comes a point, if a girl comes up and smacks you in the face, like why should a guy, back in the day, like women had these kind of privileges. They were allowed to. They had certain privileges where we had this chivalry where guys would give women passes. Like they had the privilege of being a woman. They were allowed. They were the weaker sex. You give them passes, but these days they don't want those passes. I don't know. So I don't see the reason why you should. I'm not going to. You don't need to take it if you're getting attacked. Always use self-defense. But luckily in Japan that is not an issue unless you run into some hysterical Western feminists. What are you trying to entrap me, cockslapper? You little fuck! What are you doing here? Get out of here, motherfucker! Yeah, but but it was so yeah, but there was some violence on Halloween night. I saw these two. This was near the end of the night. I saw these two half Brazilian and Japanese tend to be a little I don't know, a little more ghetto. And I was in this kind of hip hop bar, and two chicks started getting at a cat fight, and they one of them just smashed a wine glass. It looked like a champagne glass, and put a big gash across the chick's forehead. Yeah, this kind of behavior is very unusual in Japan, but the Halloween night's a different kind of night, and she was bleeding all over, and bitches, they're dangerous. I mean, if you let your guard down, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna all be a gentleman, and I'll take, I'll just, never hit a woman or anything. That next thing you know, you lose your eye. Like she smashed a champagne glass across the other chicks. Two chicks, one smashed the champagne right across her forehead, was gushing blood all down her eyes. If she's gonna do that to another chick, she'd definitely do it to a guy. So, never ever be one of these, idiots, little simp pricks that will allow a woman to get a free slap at them. Because these days women will do that because they think, it's empowering. It's empowering to stand up to a dude that probably just said, hey, what's up? You want a drink? And they'll throw a drink at them. Fuck that. No, that like boom, back in hand. Like you don't be letting yourself get hit ever. But yeah, I don't know, that this isn't usually a thing, but like I said, they were not your typical Japanese chicks. They were kind of mixed. I don't. They might have even been born in Brazil, but Japan has a lot of Brazilians. Kind of has a connection, or halves. Half they call them halves here when they're mixed, because after the Second World War or during the Second World War, a lot of Japanese went to Brazil and integrated or whatever, and they come back here, and they're kind of different. They're kind of different from the regular Japanese, but that was just a bit of a crazy incident. But that was that was right at the end of the night. But I was ready to pass out right then. But yeah, it was good. It just reminded me being out in the club, and we went to a kind of a Western style club. It's probably the most famous club in Tokyo. It's called One Oak, and it's it's all right. It attracts what we call the Gaijin hunter girls. It attracts foreigners and Japanese girls that like foreigners, and the odd sprinkling of Japanese dudes. So it's mostly foreign, but it's one of the hip places to be. And I mean, it is fun, but it's like you're in America basically. It's not really like being in Japan, and it was. I was lit. I don't usually drink, and but this night I was on the whiskey. I was on all sorts. I was on Hennessy. I wasn't. It's weird. I was on all sorts of liquor, and I heard it's a chain, Harry. That's a yeah, and but it was actually it's like being in America when you go to One Oak in Tokyo. It's full of foreigners, and so if you're ever going to get aggressive women entitled, you'll get them there. But the thing is, I was lit, and usually I'm not that late, especially when you're on the whiskey, when you're on the liquor, you're kind of more wild, One thing I will say, when you're drinking kind of heavy liquor, I noticed the hangovers are a lot less intense than when you're drinking the beer. When you're on it, if you drink a load of beer, that'll kill you. But liquor, I don't know, it's cleaner or something. There's less liquid going through your body. Anyway, I was on the liquor, and some John was popping some bottles, and no Guinness shit. Yeah, no beer belly. Yeah, no beer farts. Definitely not. But it wasn't too bad. I gotta say, because I was really lit. I was lit that night, and the hangover, wasn't that bad at all. I was more just tired. Stayed out till like 9 a.m. and I was on a rampage. I was having a really good time, but it just it brought home the reminded me of the things I know about night game. And there's one thing about night game, is that you gotta be like just an animal. Because if you're quiet down in the corner, and you're gonna expect chicks to respect you, or talk to you, or give you the time of day, forget about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you look good. It's like you gotta have all three in a club: looks, money, status. Like, you go in there looking like a Chad, that's good, right? But still, if you're going to a club as a Chad, jacked out Chad, and you're stylish, that's one thing. You might do all right. You might, but if you don't have the status, or the money, or the kind of aggression, you're still gonna be people will kind of just ignore you. I've seen it happen. I've seen Chad dudes, they look fucking great, but they don't have any game. They don't understand that clubs are aggressive places, and chicks don't. What's another Chad dude? I mean, there's too many guys just all about. So you need all three, and that night, I was feeling like a Chad, and I was feeling good because I was on the liquor, well, I was on the whiskey, the golden stuff. And when you drink that, and you're dressed decent, and you're vibing, uh, I was feeling good. And we also had the VIP seating area, and that's the status right there. If you have VIP, I don't, I don't usually have VIP unless I'm rolling with some ballers. I was rolling with MLD, so we had the VIP, and that was an eye opener. Holy smokes, that was you can literally just stand in VIP, and this club was crowded. It was like packed, and there was every chick in there was bangable. Like 99% of the chicks I would smash. They were all hot, just super slutty. Um, really, So I was just standing in VIP, just like throwing out the line. I didn't even have to leave because we had a table and we had the bottles of wine, champagne, and all I had to do was just look at a girl and like wave her over. She'd come over, and if she didn't play ball, she wasn't like she was being like hard to get. I'd say, "Do you want a drink?" And and as soon as she like put up any kind of like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do this," or whatever, like, okay, get out next, because it was such a good feeling to be able to like turn the tables. It was a total turn of the tables, because it's such a red pill. It's so crazy, because you realize like and when you try and kick them out, when you kick them out, they're begging you to stay in. They're like, please, and you're like, get out, brush them off, like, get out of here, like, And meanwhile, like, there'd be another guy, nice guy. um, would would you like a drink with me? Can I? Would you? Excuse me, milady. Can I buy you a drink? And then she'll guys like that like get like pissed on. They get pissed on by these chicks. These chicks hate those guys. They hate being respected like that. They don't want to look down. They want to look up. Milady. Just oh man, it's savage in these clothes, man. If you're the nicer you are, the more like you'll just be ignored, or you'll be worst case scenario, you'll actually be like, I don't know, you'll get fucking, I don't know, like these chicks that are just they're real vindictive. Like they don't want to be around nice guys. Like it's really amazing to see. And it can't just be a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I'm not like, I know this. I know all this information. This isn't new. I'm not like, wow, red pill, like boom. Like I know this. I've seen it. I've had situations like this before. So it's not a coincidence. But if I didn't have the VIP, I mean, those kind of odds don't happen. I was literally just grab any girl that walked by. Any 9 out of 10 will come in, and I can make out with them. I can do anything. 9 out of 10. And these are real statistics. Like, I'm not messing around. I just come in here. I wouldn't even, I would just wave at them to come in, make out, and they'd come in, and we, make out and do whatever. And, if I didn't have that VIP, it might be 1 in 10. I don't know, less probably. In a club, less. Not in a club, it'd be less. It might not even be 1 in 10. But 9 out of 10 girls come in, put their arm around them, make out with them, like pour them a drink, do whatever, give me your number, get out, whatever. This is the reality. This is the status. These chicks love it, and we look good. We had the looks, money, status. Everyone's around us. The staff are pouring us drinks. These girls, we can do anything. Donald Trump says when you're famous, they let them grab them by the pussy. When you're in VIP, it's the same thing. Same thing. Donald Trump doesn't lie. You know, I'm just saying the facts. I'm a player. I know what's up. If we didn't have that VIP, we'd be down to less than 1 in 10 probably, 1 in 15 maybe. I would probably. I don't know. I don't know. I'm making up statistics, but I'm just saying. When I was in that VIP, come in. I was just going at it because I was an animal that night. I was just like, come, like I was just bopping around. I wasn't getting one-itis for anyone that night. I was having a good time. I was like, I'm not like sticking with one girl. I'm like having a good time with a lot of girls tonight. I'm one girl is not enough tonight. I just want to like, have variety tonight. That's what I wanted, and it was a lot of fun. I went out of VIP too, and it was fun rolling around the club, just not giving one single fuck, not giving one single shit about anything, just rolling up the girls, being boisterous, being loud, and I'm the type of guy that gets the attention because I'm like, I don't care. I'm not, these guys that don't have any game, or the guys that like try and butt in and say, oh, you can't, you got to be more respectful. My mom said you mustn't speak to a lady like that. Oh my God. Oh, and then they just salt your game. You don't want to be around guys like that. They don't know the reality. Like girls are having fun off that. They like being like, approached by a confident guy that just doesn't care about being that kind of take it or leave it kind of. They can smell the confidence too. They know that you're the real deal. Basically, girls know fakers, guys. Like you can't fake this kind of stuff. Girls have that. You got to give it to them. They have that sense. They know when guys are they have that sense when someone like me, they just it's just in it. They want to get with guys that are sexually active. They don't want to get with guys that are like virgins, or like have no game whatsoever. What's in it for them, but it reminded me that night about how clubs are really not a good place for guys that aren't willing to put themselves in the ring, because it's a battleground, it's the place that you have to really put yourself out there, and us guys are get such a hard time for everything these days, from the the libtard media, and we just we're criticized. According to Gillette, we're not allowed to approach women on the street. I mean that's the basic. That's a given. You have to approaching is like, if you're not even approaching, that's only the beginning. Send these Gillette idiots into a club to see what really happens, what it actually takes to get women, what these women actually want. These idiot progressives, it's just such lies. I can't stand the lies. Just such sickening hypocrisy and lies. Show what women are actually going for. They don't want the nice guys. They don't want the gentlemen. They don't want the chivalry. They don't. You know what I mean? It's I just love. We need to expose this stuff. We need to expose the reality of what these females are starved for aggression, for masculinity. They're starved for it. So their shit tests are higher and higher, because they're so disgusted by beta males and stuff. Victor says, what does progressive mean? Progressive is the word used to describe American far leftists or liberals. I was saying progressives in America. It's kind of all across the Western world. Progressives, liberals. These the people that promote these beta male. Women are better than men. You're not allowed to approach, or you're not allowed to do anything. You just be a pussy and shut up and stay home and don't just basically just die. But yeah, I mean, also aggression and is important in a nightlife scenario. And when I'm talking about aggression, I don't mean you're going out like, hey, what's up, bitch? Like you're not like, you don't have a big stink aggressive face on you. I mean aggressive as in you're proactive. You're like out there, you're approaching girls, and you're getting in their way. You're like, oh, what's up? Let me get you a drink. You're putting your arm around them. You're taking them to the bar. You're not like, can I buy you a drink? Like having a shit about it, They'll walk by you. They'll push you out of the way. You know what I mean? They'll walk all over you. They'll be sickened by you. You know what I mean? You take risks, You have to. Like these places, otherwise you'll be you won't ever, you'll be wondering like, why can't I get any attention in these clubs? And the very best way is honestly, you gotta, if you have the status, right, and you're in a club, if you have the status, that's really important in the club. Really, really important. So then on top of that, if you have the, status in a club basically means, you're balling out, you're buying drinks, you have maybe a private area, VIP. In Japan, every club has a VIP in Japan. It's like, it's really, Japan is very status orientated. So if you have VIP in Japan, and if you're drinking like expensive liquor, like champagne or whatever, that's huge. Like so on top of that, if you're looking good, you're just, everything's open then. Everything is like, I think Saturday night, Halloween night, I pretty much had everything going for me that night. And I felt it. It was because I had all the categories were fired up. We had the VIP, we had a big group, like we were balling, like we were genuinely having a good time. We weren't like all sulking in the corner and like, like I restate, when I say aggressive, you have to be aggressive in the club. I don't mean you're out looking for fights. That's not what I mean. I mean you're proactive. You're aggressively, actively looking to get chicks, and you're approaching as many chicks as possible. That's what I mean by aggressiveness. Not like you're like being a dick. But but just want to state that, because some people, what's the best Cuckslabber says, what's the best costume for Halloween game? Halloween, I mean, anything that's fun. I mean, anything, you want to be showing your face. I mean, you don't want to be wearing a mask. That's a big mistake a lot of people make. Certainly, if you go out on Halloween night, you don't want something that revolves around wearing a mask, because then you can't see your face, and then you have to wear a mask the whole night. It's not going to work. Anything that's, it makes you look like a bit of a badass. I usually do something like vampire or something, like pour blood on myself, because it's simple, it's easy to do, and it kind of makes me look badass. It doesn't make me look like too much of an idiot. What's up, Artemis says, in my area, the only reason guys go to clubs is to look for fights. The only reason girls go to clubs is to cause the fights and then laugh about it. Yeah, I mean that's Western culture. I mean, Western societies. I mean, clubs are generally, they can be fun. Like, I mean, when you're having a good time in a club, it's fun. But yeah, you also have that element. Um, you don't. Where I'm going to clubs. I'm not looking for fights. I'm looking for pussy. That's what I want. I'm not going to back down from a fight. I'm not certainly not looking for fights, but um, it sucks if guys are going looking for fights. They're the guys that deserve. They're the guys that they'll get their comeuppance. Karma's real. You go looking for fights. There's only so long. It's only so long before some guy that you pick the fight with the wrong guy and he will mess you up. There's guys out here that aren't interested in throwing hands. There's guys in this world. They're not interested in throwing hands. They will take out a knife, they'll take out a gun, and they'll gut you. They'll cut you up. So go looking for fights at your own peril. So I think, never look for a fight, but if it comes down to a fight, you have to defend yourself. That makes me, you'll never be guilty then. You'll never have any, anything to feel, because if you don't go picking fights, but you don't back down, it's pretty much the best stance to take. But yeah, in Japan, it's not so much of an issue, but yeah, certainly Western countries, it's something you have to deal with. But nightlife's a certain niche kind of. It's the most common ways guys try and pick up. I wouldn't say it's the most efficient, but if you have the means, if you have the status, and you can get a good group going, and you get a good night going, nightlife can be really, really fun. The thing I like about nightlife is when you're on a roll, like it just feels like you can have every woman in the place, It's just and the immediacy of how ratchet it can get. I mean, it's just a kind of immediate. You get dancing with a girl, she's grinding her ass all over you. You're making out, then you turn to you're done with her. You go look for another girl. It's kind of the degeneracy. There's no end to it, There's no end to it. It's just, and that's what it was like. That's what it was like on Halloween night. I don't know. Maybe I was hooking up with girls left, right, and center. It was a fun time. But when you can, why not? Cockslapper says, got any red tips for red pilling friends and family? My daughter to brainwashed by the blue pill media, and I'm trying to convert her. I would say it's not always. You can show them some material, but understand that people will often resent you for trying to red pill them. They won't appreciate it because they'll think you're. A lot of people will think you're criticizing them. You kind of have to find the red pill. You can try and send them some material. Depends on what you want to red pill them with. Your daughter, dude. That's I mean you can't be. You just try and raise your daughter in in a way that I don't know if you can. I don't know how to go about red pilling your daughter, but just try and raise her not to be a feminist. That's what I'd start at, because that's a tragic life ahead for them if they swallow the lonely life for these chicks that are raised to be feminists. I don't know. It'd be real hard not to. You'd have to homeschool or something, because the schools are indoctrinating kids these days. Really, really crazy stuff. Yeah, I don't try. I guess when you first get red pill, you kind of want to convert a lot of people, but the thing about getting, when you swallow the red pill, you're gonna lose a lot of friends. That's the reality. It's just because you won't be able to really. It's hard to tolerate, certain people once you swallow that pill, and they won't tolerate you. It's often when you become red pill, it's often the people who are blue pill that they'll cut you off sooner than you'll cut them off, just because their brains won't be able to handle what you're telling them. They're too plugged in. They're that's what happened to me anyway. A lot of when I started speaking my mind, when I started telling the truth, the way I saw things, I lost friends, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to change. Once you swallow it, there's no going back. I mean, most of them fell off, but I wouldn't change it for the world, because that's it's just, I can't tolerate that kind of world they live in, the denial of reality. It sickens me. Once you're a truth seeker, once you want to know the reality of life, once you see, you cannot. It's hard to be around people like that. It really is. Yeah. So, do I miss them despite that they are blue pill? I mean, some people, but yeah, I guess you miss some aspects, but still, like I said, I still wouldn't change it, because it's just inevitable that it's going to happen. Sometimes you just, if someone tells you the sky is green and you see it as blue, you're going to be like, it's blue, man. The sky's blue. And then they keep saying it's green. You can't come to a consensus. You can't come to agreement, with those kind of people. And it kind of, I mean, the red pill filters into everything in our daily life. You start to disagree about everything then, because once you see the truth in one thing, you start to see that everything that you talked about before, the way, you don't really agree on anything. I can be friends with some of them. I have some friends that are blue pill, I'll call blue pill, but we can still talk about maybe they're blue pill in some other aspects. The red pill has many. It's not only to do with women. They might be red pill when it comes to women, but when it comes to politics or something like that, they'd be completely blue pill. And I have some friends like that, where we just don't talk about certain subjects. Just there's different kind of categories of red pill. But yeah. Winston says, yeah, it's not like I'll stop going to the dentist because he is blue pill. Yeah, I mean, you have I certainly have friends that I would call blue pill, but it depends on the extent of how it affects us just having fun. Generally, if I can talk to someone about women in a kind of a red pill way, then it's most likely we're going to be friends. I don't, we can forget about politics and stuff like that, because we're always going to have something to talk about. If we can talk about women and talk about, hooking up and stuff like that, and some few other aspects, not always about women, but you can maintain friendships. But yeah, it depends on how much you're able to still have a good relationship with them, still have fun with them. Still, as soon as it stops being fun, starts to fall apart. If you're around someone who you're getting criticized for, they're trying to basically they're trying to censor your speech, basically, or constantly trying to argue with you and saying, oh, you can't say that, or it's not like that, you shouldn't talk about women like that, or this, that, and the other. I have friends that are like that have kind of fallen off because they're like, they see that I've become this like kind of player guy, and they pretend that it's out of some moral thing, like, oh, you shouldn't do that. But I grew up with these guys. I know that they want to do what I do. They just can't. Their situation, their work, their life is so that they're not able to do it. So they pretend to see things through a moral lens, and they try and cut you down. So it's kind of bitterness, like kind of jealousy, and I can see right through it, and I can't tolerate it. Those are the things that those kind of guys really hard to tolerate. I wouldn't want guys like that around when, I'm not trying to rub anything in anyone's face, but I don't usually do that. But if someone's going to come at me and tell me that I shouldn't do this, that, or the other, and say, oh, it's not moral, when I know they want to do the same thing, I know that they want to like hook up and do this, and they're pretending to have some kind of objection to hooking up with a lot of women and being good at it, and teaching other guys how to do it, then I guess we're not gonna see eye to eye on anything. Yeah. So, yeah, you have high school friends who make fun of me when I post Red Pill on Facebook. I mean, Facebook is I kind of, Facebook is not really a good platform. Facebook's a very, very blue pill platform. I used to troll. When I first got Red Pill, I would troll Facebook because I knew most of my feed. It was the farthest thing from an echo chamber. It was full of very extremely blue pill people, mostly friends from college and high school, and people who I don't stay in touch with. 95% are people who I wouldn't have stayed in touch with. But I would post like Red Pill content, and I definitely wasn't doing it for likes. I wasn't doing it to be popular. I was doing it because I knew I would get a reaction out of these people. It's the truth. I'm not like sharing any lies, but it's kind of, I got a kick out of just sharing this content because it stirred the pot so much, and it was kind of fun. But Facebook, you're not really, you can't expect, you're never going to convert everyone. And I would say you shouldn't be trying to convert everyone. You can get angry about it, you can get upset about it, but what's the point? If you really, you can be kind of, the best way, if you're really angry about it, if you're really angry about these people, the best way you can get revenge is to encourage them. Because I know you're right, you know the truth, you know the reality, and these people are criticizing you, and they're not willing to see they're willing to ostracize you, they're willing to shame you, they're some of these people will try and destroy your life. So the best revenge, the best thing you could do is to pretend to agree with them, encourage them, tell them to go further. Oh yeah, you want to study feminism, you want to get a master's in feminism, what's that? You want to get a master's or a doctorate in feminism, or some bullshit whatever course in university. Yeah, oh yeah, you better, oh no, master's isn't enough. You want to get the doctorate. You want to go further. You want to, we live in such an unjust society, just, you want to study, you want to take out bank loans, you want to get $100,000, you want to be in, we got to fight this together, encourage them, make them go. That's the best revenge. Oh, you want, what's that? You don't ever want to have children? Oh yeah, never, you, even if you, just men suck, you don't want to, you don't want a husband, never marry. No. Cats are much better than a husband. they'll keep you, they'll keep you company when you're dying in bed. But these people, give them what they want. We're not gonna be saviors. Just try and enjoy your life. Try and make your life as good as possible. You're not gonna get anywhere in this society if you. This is why we have these online communities, these circles, because we can share like-minded people, and keeps us sane. Because if we didn't have these circles, we probably would go insane because you're just surrounded by idiots that just are ignoring what's right in front of us, that are ignoring the elephant in the room. We all know these things to be true on a basic, instinctual level. And, I think these people, most people do, but, there's different types of people. There's cowards, and there's intelligent people that are cowards. The intelligent people know that it's bullshit, but they're cowards. And they're the worst kind of people. They are the scum of the earth because they know it's a lie. They're very intelligent, but they're super cowardly. They're weasels. These are the people that are the worst. And but then there's the idiots. And there's a lot of idiots. Most people are the idiots. They actually believe these blue pill lies, and they're more forgivable because they're idiots and they believe things. They're naive. They don't really know. They don't understand. They just believe the propaganda. They fall in line. But and then there's everything in between. There's a full spectrum. But the ones that really are the enemy are the intelligent people that are cowards. They're the ones that really make me sick. They're they'll stab you in the back just because they don't want to be. They're just scared not to fit in with the group. They're afraid that they'll be ostracized, and they'll disagree with you just to get brownie points, and I think this what's up, Taj? Yeah, like the video, dudes. Get those likes up. But this time is especially telling with the beer bug. And I've said this to John many times, but it's a very good representation of how few people are actually red-pilled. We can see that represented by the amount of people that are begging to have their rights removed from them. And then we can see the tiny amount of people that are, against it and really know the truth of what's really going on in the world. But it's interesting times we live in. It's interesting times, but all I know is I would never change it for the world. I'm happy out here being red pilled and knowing the truth, because when you know the truth, when you know what women want, when you know what actually attracts them, you've done 50% of the work. Like it's a big chunk of the work, because all you have to do is implement the things that what is nature, female nature. Don't like if you know the truth of what women actually are, you're not gonna get all resentful about them. You're not gonna get all because it's not their fault. It's just their nature, and you can appreciate them for what they are. So yeah, that's just today's video about, I don't know. I went on a rant, but I guess these kind of videos are like that. But it's always good to talk about these things. Yeah, so I'll be back here. I'll be back here tomorrow, and we'll talk about more red pill content, more content about game, more content about women, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, we will see you then. Peace out. Goodbye.